Hey everyone, Marcy Bullock with Find Your Purpose. This is a big one today. We are going to dig into who you are with some questions that are going to make you think. These three questions, ladies and gentlemen, and nine non-binary people who's ever out there, who am I? Who am I meant to be? And what am I meant to do? I just realized I was yelling and I'm using the headphones, so I'm going to talk normally now. Let's think about that. Quick thoughts. Answer yes or no, just to yourself. Do you feel inspired getting out of bed every day? Are you on a trajectory to be better tomorrow than you are today? Do you live your life based on something bigger than yourself? These are big questions, and that's why we're talking about purpose and passion today. So about 80% of college students are not sure what they want to major in, even those in declared majors. If you are in that group, you're not alone. Over 75% of college students want help finding their purpose. And between 50 and 60% of college students change their majors at least once. I bet some of you listening have. According to Gallup, about 70% of employees are either not engaged or actively disengaged at work. That means they're trying to sabotage things. So we want you to be in a role where you are doing something that's meaningful. That's why we're talking about purpose today, because you spend a third of your waking hours in your professional self. Here is the lovely quote I'm going to read to you. All of us are born for a reason, but all of us don't discover why. Success in life has nothing to do with what you gain in life or accomplish for yourself. It's about what you do for others. Love that. So now we're going to prime the pump today with some kick-ass questions. So today's webinar is going to be all about you getting out a pen and paper. Yes, the old-fashioned way. We're not going to use any digital technology for this. And we're going to do some free write with 7 sets of questions. So just pause when the questions come up and you'll be able to write them down. You'll have a 1-minute time limit for each question so you can time yourself and write the first thought that comes to mind. Make it raw. So I'm going to go ahead and let you look at the questions here and time yourself, and then we'll go to the next page. So that was the last of the 4 sets of questions, and now we've got 5. I forgot there were 7. Okay, now we're at the end. This is the last of the 7 sets of questions. I like some deep questions here. What I want people to say about me at my funeral. I love this one video where it's called Your 80th Birthday. Hopefully you're all going to live way beyond 80 because medicine's going to be amazing by the time you're 80 and you'll live to be like 180. But this one person it was said that he loved people and they loved him, and that's what he wanted to be remembered by. So it gets into another video that we did, which is on values. If you haven't watched that one yet, go ahead and check it out on the YouTube channel called Marcy's 30-Day Challenge. So I want you to look at the answers to your questions and notice something about the patterns. Reflect on how you're living your life now on a personal level, and it could also reveal to you what you might want to do in the future. These are great questions to ask with me if I am teaching you this semester, which I probably am, and that's why you're watching this. Set up a one-on-one. I call it a walk and talk. You can answer some of the questions to me, and because I'm a career coach, I can help you make sense of it all. Now we're going to do an exercise called interest areas. So in this exercise, I'm going to show you 3 screens. On the screen will be an area you might be interested in working in or knowing more about. And there's about 25 different interests on every screen. So you can make your choices based on the areas you could see yourself in the future, things you want to learn about or do in your potential projects, things that excite you and inspire you. And they might be tied to the things that you value the most. So again, go back to that values video. I'd like you to write down 1 to 3 choices from each screen. So again, I'm going to go through, and the max is 3. You can't want to do everything on there. I'm going to make you have a maximum of 3 and at least 1. And it's okay if you don't choose any interests from a screen. So let's just say 0 to 1, 0 to 3. So if any of these words on this screen look interesting to you, you will just write them down. Next screen, write down 0, 1, 2, or 3. Next screen, second to last. Just words that interest you, don't overanalyze. And that was the last screen. So interest area choices. If you have any interests that aren't on those 3 screens, in this section that you like to include, write them down. And once you have your list of interest areas, choose up to 3 that might have the most significance for you. Getting warm in the summer videoing this, so I just popped off my jacket. Write down 3 that resonate with you the most. So out of all the screens, just pick your top 2 or 3. Now, describe the interests you would like to explore, investigate, and learn more about in 1 sentence. So this is a really good activity because we're shrinking it all down. Your sentence should encompass your interest area, why you have an interest in the area, and what you can provide in that area. And when complete, write your sentence out. You may want to write a sentence for each of the interest areas that you've chosen. Don't worry about why it says page 9. Now, your interest sentence guideline is things to include in your interest area sentence. I am here to, I provide, I share, I facilitate, I offer, I do, I create. These are starts of sentences that you can go back to that earlier slide, and when you looked at all these different interest areas, you're going to be seeing these 3 screens, and you might have said finance, health and nutrition, teaching, women's issues. And when we go back to our slide now, I was on, whoops, go back to my interest areas. I'm saying to myself, okay, so women's defense. I'm going to say to myself, why do I have an interest in that area? And now I'm going to say, I am here to serve women in defense, or agriculture. I share information on agriculture. All right, so 1 sentence is what we're kind of leaning towards. So what we've done so far is actually a lot of really great activities. We have looked at our interests, and we have tried to make a statement about our interests. So from here, we're going to move on to the next video in the series. Hopefully you can save all your notes, and we'll talk about them in class.